In this video we're going to impose two restrictions. First a restriction on columns and then on the rows, and we'll do this in a very sequential fashion so it's very clear. Okay, let's make a new query and make sure you're over here, that you are using the little table that we've made. So type use and then my dbase. And now first we're going to remember type select all from dbo dot table underscore 1. Execute this query. Remember, this is the one that returns all rows and all columns. Now we impose a restriction. This is very sequential, of an ID followed by a name only, like this. You see? Now look very carefully. Compare this result to the new result. Okay. So run this, execute it, and you see this has restricted the columns returned. And now we're going to restrict the rows that are returned, which you can do by typing where ID, for example, equals 2. Okay, like that. So where ID equals 2, you're going to impose one more restriction, run this code, execute it, and notice that this row, whose name is Mary and an ID of 2, is returned only. So you see this works in a very sequential fashion. Alright? So begin with my dbase, restrict the columns, then restrict the rows within the columns. There you go. Here also I wanted to show you a new feature. There's something called display estimated execution plan. And so click that button, and on the bottom it's going to give you a little, see, select 0% clustered index seek. So the seeking of the information is 100% of the query. So most of the work of the query is, in other words, is the seeking of the information. Alright. So that's that. As you can see where it says use my dbase, that doesn't cost anything. And all of it comes from the fact that we're searching for information. Not so much the select, as you can see, 0%. Alright, now of course this is a super small table, so it doesn't really matter on top of it, but you know, just so we are aware of this feature. And also, if you run this, let's see this in action. Results to file. Execute this. Notice it gives it an extension of RPT, so you know what that is. Okay, so results, save that. Now the question is, where do you go to view this? Because it's not visible here, right? So you have to go somewhere to view it. So it gets sent to my documents on your computer. Okay. So if you don't like that, then you can do it again. Results to file. Execute it. And I will store it in a place that I know very well on my computer. So that's gonna go over to C drive, and I've got data. Alright, so simple query result. There you go. Run the query. Now if you right click this and open with and if nothing is associated as a program that opens it, this might give you something like this, right? So this is what we can do. Go to command prompt, type cmd. Alright, go to that directory, do dir, and you can also do dir start.rpt. Now you can do notepad.exe and then simple query result.rpt. See that? And you can open it right there. There you go. So you've learned something new. Let's review. Remember, queries are highly sequential, so you begin with a whole table. First you select certain columns, then you select certain rows. This is a very mechanical process. And when you save to a file, make sure you know the location well, and then you can use Notepad to open that. Or probably Word. I've never used Word to do that, but I like to do a lot of stuff from the command prompt. I think if you know the command prompt well, you can do things very fast and much more efficiently than with clicking buttons. Alright, and that is it. So now, what if we typed a word like this? See that where it says or? And then we also wrote ID equals 3. Okay, let's see what this query, what the result is. So parse it, that means make sure it's properly structured, and execute the query. Let's change this back to our grid result and execute it. And now notice it returns those 2 rows. Okay, so one more time just to be really sure, right? So use dbase, my dbase that we've got. Okay, so select pull from dbo dot, and if it seems a little annoying because it's too many times, that's okay. It's better to do it a couple times more until you feel you truly understand it. That's really important. Okay, so remember, select all columns, impose one condition where, for example, okay, ID is 2. So this will select a row within. I'm going to keep all the columns, execute that. Or, look very carefully, ID equals 3. So execute that, and now this checks and says row 2 or 3 satisfy this condition. There you go. Okay. So you've seen how to construct these queries and add a condition that selects only certain rows. And that is it. So this is available for you in the sidebar as a PDF. Thank you very much and have a great day.